have a very good idea, but for those of you that don't, let's just run through a few facts and let's just look at what is being achieved on Amazon by third-party sellers. That's people like us, like you and I. This screenshot here is Amazon's net income from 2004 to 2017, and it's in million US dollars. Now this is on Amazon.com alone. Now what you'll see here is the huge growth in 2016 and 2017. Now of course we don't have this figure yet for 2018, but let's just take a look back here, and you can see how growth was quite steady there from 2006 to 2010, and then it dropped off a bit. Now, where Amazon made a loss here, this was almost certainly a calculated loss. They knew exactly what they were doing. And then, as we see, things start to recover again and shoot away up in 2016 and 2017. So that is looking very, very healthy for Amazon and healthy for us as Amazon sellers. But even more importantly, the percentage of volume that goes through Amazon that comes from third-party sellers, i.e. us. Now you can see how this has been steadily increasing. So back in 2013, that's when I started selling on Amazon, it was only 40%. Now, only 40%, that is still pretty good, especially when we look here at 2007, how it's jumped up from 2007 to 2013. But we can see it's steadily going up and up and up. And 2018 now, so the first quarter, January, February, March, 52% of sales came from people like us, third-party sellers, which is the highest ever so far. So that means that more and more sales volume, more and more of the percentage of sales volume that goes through Amazon is coming from people like us as opposed to from Amazon themselves. And let's look at a few facts here. Amazon US currently getting almost 200 million unique monthly visitors, which is incredible. Amazon UK sales increased by almost a third, so by over 30% in 2017. That's a huge increase. Prime membership keeps on growing year on year. Prime membership, this is where customers can pay an annual or a monthly fee to get certain benefits on Amazon, including free shipping and other things. Now that Prime membership is really important to us as sellers because Prime customers are very loyal to Amazon and they do spend more on Amazon than non-Prime customers, and they tend to purchase more products per transaction. Now sales on Amazon Germany have more than doubled in the last 5 years. In fact, 2017 was an incredible year for Amazon.de. Amazon.ca, it keeps on growing year after year. Still a small marketplace compared to the US, but it is growing. Now, Amazon Australia, this has launched just recently, so this is providing opportunities for those of you who are in Australia to start selling on the Australian platform, whereas previously you didn't have that opportunity. Amazon India, this is really interesting. In 2017, it more than doubled its growth, which is enormous, quite incredible. Now, for those of you in India, this is obviously fantastic news. Alright, so that's some facts, but what about, and these are the doubts that go through people's minds, and these are the questions that I often get. What about saturation? Isn't it saturated? Because sometimes we see things on Facebook pages or forums where people are talking about the fact that Amazon is saturated, Amazon is dead, don't go there, don't do it. But here's the thing with saturation and with this other one that comes up all the time as well, competition. First of all, saturation is most definitely a myth when it comes to something like Amazon, because the number of Amazon registered customers is growing all the time. Amazon's market share is growing all the time. So while the number of sellers is increasing, for sure, that is definitely true, but the actual sales volume, the amount of money that goes through, the amount of transactions and the number of people that are buying from Amazon and visiting Amazon is also going up and up and up as well. So we're not going to be saturated while the demand just keeps on growing. Competition, there is competition everywhere. Now, if you set up your own store, you're going to come up against a lot of competition. If you sell on eBay, you're going to come up against a lot of competition. And if you sell on Amazon, you're going to come up against a lot of competition. Competition is going to be there wherever we go. Now, competition isn't bad. Competition is good, because where we see competition, we know that there is demand. And we're going to be talking about this more when we're looking at products that we want to sell. So we're doing our research to decide which products are going to be the most profitable for us. So for both of these things, saturation and competition, while there will be one person who worries about this and doesn't do anything because of it, there will be another person who at the very same time starts on Amazon and goes on to become extremely successful. So what I'm saying is all to do with mindset and how you think about things. Now, stuff that goes wrong. Stuff goes wrong all the time. It is part of doing business. So having that kind of mindset where we know stuff is going to go wrong, we know that we are going to have obstacles and we know we are going to have challenges, being able to overcome those obstacles and challenges and to take those in our stride and know that it's part of business, that is really what it's all about. Alright, let's have a look at what's being achieved and the type of figures that are being generated on Amazon. There are a lot of sellers, many sellers who are doing more than $10,000 per month in sales. Now, sales is not the same as profit. Profit may only be 20%, 30%, 40%, could be 50 or 60%, but we can only really go by sales because we don't know what kind of profits sellers are making, individual sellers are making, but most sellers will be making a good profit, especially when you get to these kind of sales figures. Some sellers are generating $100,000 plus per month, and there are some sellers generating $1 million plus per month. Now that might sound like an incredible figure, but in fact there are sellers who are doing $5 million plus per month in sales on Amazon. So just to talk about this a little bit more, to get to $10,000 plus per month in sales, this can definitely be done as a one-man operation. This is not as difficult as you might think, and it can also be done part-time. Now, to get to $100,000 plus per month in sales, this would be very hard to do as a one-man band. You would almost certainly need assistance and or a partner. It would also be difficult to do this part-time. So it'd be difficult to get to $100,000 plus per month in sales while operating another business or while having a job. Assume that when you get to a certain point that you would be focusing on Amazon full-time to get to this stage. Now, when it comes to the really big figures, so the really big sellers, we're talking here full-scale operations with offices, with a warehouse and with staff. And you would almost certainly have a warehouse even if you were purely an FBA seller, which means fulfillment by Amazon, which means that you are sending everything to Amazon and they store it in their warehouse and they fulfill the orders. Even if you were doing that, if you are selling over $1 million per month in sales, you almost certainly have your own warehouse as well to receive products to before you send them to Amazon. Okay, now nobody can run before they can walk, and every $1 million a month seller or $1 million a year seller or $5,000 a month seller or $10,000 a month seller, whatever, they all started at the beginning. They all started with 0 sales. Okay, so that's one thing to remember. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes work and it takes time to make this kind of money. But most definitely, the possibility is there, the potential is there. Okay, see you in